Most students enrolled in high school are not aware of the options they can take to further their education for the future. Many teachers in school talk about college and try to prepare students for college, but that may not always be the best option for them. I was joined by some students from Monomoy Regional High School and was able to ask them a few questions about how much students are informed about trade school and college. When you first got to high school, did you ever think about going to a trade school instead of college?
I didn't, because I feel like you have more time to think about what you want to do when you're in a public high school versus a trade school. You have to make career choices earlier.
I did, but because you can get really good experiences at trade school and you can have a job straight out of high school, but I looked at the options and there wasn't anything I was particularly interested in, so I decided to stay at Monomoy.
That's not really something I want to pursue. Kind of wanted to be more into the medical field, so it's not really something that I was interested in.
I did not personally think about going to a trade school because it didn't seem like much of an option for me.
When I first got to high school, I thought I was going to go to college the whole time. Trade school never really crossed my mind.
No.
Has trade school ever seemed like an equal option compared to college for you?
I would think that it depends on your career, because if you are going into a trade, then you would want to go to trade school, but if it's not worth paying money for college, but if you're looking for a higher level career, then it's not worth going to trade school.
Yeah, I mean, it's equally available. You can go to tech or any other pretty easily.
I mean, yes. I think of it as like kind of an equal option. Maybe not something I would want to do, but something that I think other people would like.
Trade school has been popular in my family, so I've thought about it as being equal or sometimes greater option than college.
Depending on what you want to do with your career, like trade school might be a better option if you want to just get right out of high school, start making money, and not pursue a further career in education.
Yeah, I think trade school's a great option for people. For the kids that want to go straight to work, I think it's a path to a successful life if they follow it correctly.
In your experience, do teachers talk more about college than trade school as an option for the future?
I haven't had a lot of experience because I'm in a lower grade, so we don't really talk about college and future.
They do a lot more. A lot of the faculty really help you set up for college, even if you're thinking about going to a trade school and learning a trade instead. They talk about all the opportunities college can offer.
I feel like college is definitely more talked about than trade school. I feel like trade school is just kind of like a side option teachers will like kind of bring up, but yeah.
I've found that teachers talk about college a lot more than trade school.
I definitely think teachers want to force college on their students because that's kind of what they're teaching for. They're teaching to get these kids out of high school and get them into higher education. Like, they're preparing them for college. I know like AP classes, things like that, are preparing for college. But like some teachers here do say that they want students to try trade school if maybe they're doing not so well in school or if they're having a hard time. Like we have programs here that kind of help out getting into trade schools, stuff like that.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's kind of hard to say. I do think teachers, just because what their profession is that they try to get their hardest to get students into college, but you look at a teacher maybe from Cape Cod Tech, and they're going to be a little more biased about trades and trade schools and all that. So I think it just depends on like the school you're at and the teacher, but there's really no right or wrong answer.
I also spoke with one of Monomoy Regional High School's guidance counselors to see what he thought about college and trade school as an option for students in the future. Students come to you when they are making decisions on classes and occasionally to talk about school options. So do many students come to you with the idea of going to a trade school?
Usually those discussions are going to happen with 8th grade students and sometimes 9th grade students. I don't work specifically with grade 8 students. But it's ironic that you're asking me that question today because I'm going on a field trip to Cape Cod Tech with a bunch of 8th graders today to see if that's a good fit for them. And also through the 9th through 12 years, I do work with students who either might not have gotten into the tech school the first time around or who might have changed kind of what their future plan is. Maybe they're looking to be more in the trades than in college. So.
When helping students with making a decision like trade school and college, do you ever see one as the better option for students' futures?
I think it's for the dependent on the individual student, and based on what the career goal is for that student. For example, if their career goal is I want to work as an electrician, something that would not require a college level degree, certainly a tech school would make more sense. One of the things we've noticed over the last 20 years or so with the tech schools is that many more of those students are going on to college. So they have two kind of pathways where you can kind of at the tech school decide, do I want to enter the workforce right after I graduate, or do I want to go on and get some more training before I do that?
Do you typically suggest college as the best option to students when they come to talk about what comes after high school for them?
Again, different for every individual student. Our statistics show that about 60% of our kids go on to four-year college and 20% roughly go on to the two-year college, and then maybe from two-year college to four-year college after that. But that leaves us still a significant gap of students where college and university isn't the primary choice. And we review a lot of the other options, one which is the trades like you mentioned, potentially service in the military, a gap year, going right to work. There's a number of options students can pursue beyond just the four-year degree.
Although students have the choice to attend trade school, college, or take a different path, most students are not completely informed of the different options they can choose. Some students are just experiencing teachers talking about college and how to prepare, while some other students are aware of their options but do choose the path that does not include trade school.